What is up, party people? We are back. Got to give the round of applause. Thank you, everybody, for coming back. Appreciate that. We're going to dive into another video. This video is entitled My Hoe Phase. Let's hear what she has to say.
Hey guys, welcome to my bedroom. I'm Bella. I hope you're doing amazing.
What's up, Bella?
Today is my first full day as a 28-year-old. Yesterday was my birthday.
Okay.
And I think I started this channel right before I turned 26. So
All
I know
right.
at the beginning of the year, I set my 2018 sex goals. And after reviewing the episode, I've actually achieved a lot of those goals in one
2018 sex goals? We are making sex goals now?
way or another, but I kind of deviated severely from one. And like I said, it's more of a deviation than it has been a complete failure. I'll cut to the chase. These last 10 months, January to October, have been my hoe months. I've been doing some fuckboy shit and some hoe shit. So for a bit.
So from January to October, so for 10 months, she's been a hoe. So, oh man, oh no, wait a minute, we need a. I mean, the people who are all for it, 9 times out of 10 are single men who are out to get theirs, right? People who are looking for relationships aren't into this whole thing, but yeah, if she's doing her whole phase, there are no shortage of men who will take her up on this, but there are going to be a whole lot of problems for her in the future. I'm telling you now.
I felt really guilty about it.
And you should have. You should have felt guilty about it. She said she felt guilty. She should. That is not a natural state to be in. To just entertaining all these different male genitalia. No, absolutely not. She shouldn't be genitalia Jenny. It shouldn't work out like that.
And then I started to question, like, why am I doing this? Why am I behaving this way? Why am I going outside of the norm of how I generally behave?
Exactly. Out of the norm of how I generally behave. Ladies, this is not normal. It's not. There are way too many women that are trying to normalize this behavior. The problem is that you haven't allowed yourself to pair bond to any man. That's the problem. This is why you're floating from penis to penis to penis. It's just ridiculous. Like, we shouldn't be doing this. Go out on some dates. Find a man that you have everything in common with, that has everything that you would like in a husband. You know, there's nothing wrong with dating. You don't have to have sex while you're dating, but figure out what you like and who you like without giving your body away. And then settle down with that person. Pair bond with that one man, and he'll do the same with you. And you guys ride off into the sunset together.
To this, like, who is this person? And when I say hoe phase, I don't mean that I was, like, accepting money in exchange for sex. Definitely not that.
That would be a prostitute.
You know, like, I've been having a good amount of sex. And quite a few partners. More than I think I've had up until this point. Most, if not all, I've had sex with previously, or I've known for a really long period of time. The one instance where it felt like it was going to be a one-night stand, and that would have been my first one-night stand, actually turned out to be more of like a continuing tryst. So why am I sharing this? I already know in my comments there's going to be all kinds of like finger pointers and Bible thumpers, but like, you know what? Fuck it. This is my reality.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure she has a lot of those people in her comment section, but how I stumbled across her videos because there were other YouTubers that were commenting on the fact that she's promoting this whole face. Look at how she's dressed. She's wearing a, and I don't know what the technical term for it, but to the naked eye, it looks like a bra. She's just wearing a bra and she's just out in herself, right? Like, nah, like if she was my woman or any man's woman, they would not be okay with her just having them out there like that. Like, they would say and fully encourage her to put on more clothes.
I think at a certain point with this channel, I've kind of deviated from what I initially wanted it to be, which was very raw and real and point blank, to trying to be, you know, educational and very heavily spiritual. And while that is very much who I am, I think I need to go back to that middle ground. This is my middle ground. I personally attribute my hoe phase to a couple of different factors. Without dragging this on too long, let's get into those. Just keep in mind that everybody deals with things differently and everybody has a hoe phase or doesn't have a hoe phase for their own individual reasons. These are my reasons. This is what happened. So first, I never had one. Most people have a hoe phase or some semblance of that when they're in college. I had a boyfriend. Honestly, for like the last 9-10 years, I've been in some state of perpetual relationship. And even to my situations that weren't fully monogamous, I operate more on a monogamous level. So, you know, even though there were open relationships, I generally stuck to my one partner. So yeah, I never had one. My second reason is a lot more real and maybe a lot more relatable to other people, but I was mad depressed. 27 was a pretty difficult year for me. I was severely depressed. My relationship ending the month after my birthday was, you know, like actually took a lot more of a toll on me than I think I wanted to admit. I wanted to come off as very strong and just move on and keep it pushing. And months later, I realized, fuck, like I'm not happy.
So there's nothing wrong with being sad if you just got out of a relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. If you broke up with somebody, especially if you really, really cared about that person, you're supposed to be sad. You are. Now, I think where depression comes in is when you don't deal with that sadness. You don't voice it. You don't get it out. You don't cry. You don't talk to someone. You don't vent somehow. You let it fester inside of you, and it eats away of you on the inside. And then you're putting on this persona on the outside like you're okay when you're actually really not. So yeah, you should have talked to somebody, get it out, vent, make yourself feel better. And then in a time when it's right, then move on. Then you can sometimes avoid those depressions.
Typical coping mechanism for people trying to avoid their depression is, you know, spending time with other people, distracting themselves with other people, and that's kind of what I was doing.
And it's not just hanging out with other people, going to games and the clubs and that kind of thing, but actually talking about your feelings, venting, getting it out. That makes you feel better. It's healthier.
Honestly, it wasn't the whole shit that made me realize that I was depressed. It was when that depression started to spill into other aspects of my life, like keeping my room clean, going to the gym. I started getting like kind of chunky. My plants were dying, and you guys know I love my plant babies. Not filming the episode, like I didn't feel inspired. It really wasn't until all those things started to happen that I was able to, one, focus on those things, and once I got that kind of situated, step back and be like, okay, what's actually the root of the problem here? Like, what's going on?
Because you didn't address it.
I really, really liked it. So my third reason, I really like sex. We know this. This is a thing. We have a channel called In Bed with Bella. I talk about sex because I really, really, really like sex.
And most people really, really like sex. So why don't you find one person that you gel with, that you vibe with, to really, really like sex with? Why does it have to be John, Luke, Harry, Phil, Michael? What? Why? Why is that a thing? You can have one person that learns you, that learns your body, that can just please you. Because if you jump from person to person, nobody's going to get to learn you, learn your body, learn how to please you, learn how to do and say the things that you like intimately. But if you repeatedly go back to someone and they get a chance to practice with you, right? Practice makes perfect. You practice with them, they practice with you. Before you know it, they're hitting all your buttons. And it's all good. Every single time they're hitting the buttons. And then you guys can try new stuff, spice it up a little bit. But if you're jumping from person to person, there'll be one person that may get close. The next person will be way the hell off. The other person maybe halfway. The other person 10%. You know, so don't jump around.
I have no shame in admitting that. So you can understand my confusion in myself when I was like shaming myself for having a hoe phase. I know that even though I wasn't always acting from a place of mindfulness, I vetted
I mean, it's good, but you're still putting your body through things that it shouldn't be put through. Understand too that the more sexual partners you have, the higher likelihood that you're going to develop cancer. It's true. Throat cancer and pelvic cancer are prominent amongst women who are very promiscuous. It is true. Look it up. Jason Black, look it up.
About these are like people that I genuinely care or like. I enjoyed every single one of those multiple orgasms, and no one's gonna shame me for that.
Nobody's trying to shame you though, Bella. Nobody wants to shame you, girl. We're just saying it's going to be incredibly hard for you to find the man of your dreams at this juncture, because you have a channel supposedly, and these videos are floating out there, and no guy of any substance is going to want you because you've been with way too many people. No guy wants that. So, sorry, you kind of box yourself in. You might as well start accepting money for it. That's all I'm saying. Chris?
I told you that bitch crazy.
I'm telling you. And
she belongs to the streets.
She do. Once you've had a certain amount of partners,
she belongs to the streets.
You belong to the streets. I'm sorry, Bella. You're not gonna get that like Kevin would call it, a high value man, unfortunately. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Remember to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell now. That way you'll get something in your inbox, a little treat. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you in the next one. Deuces.